You said you were an ex-Muslim, correct?
I am actually an ex-Muslim.
Okay. If you don't mind me asking, you don't have to answer. When you were a Muslim, did you wear the hijab or no?
For a short period of time because they force us.
Okay. So I actually spoke with a lot of people about this, and one of the biggest reasons why people decide to leave Islam is culture. It's not necessarily the religion, it's culture. You have spoken about it
No,
before.
I throw it. I throw it away after a few days. I mean, I
I'm
was
so
not problem hijab. I wear it because they said you cannot come to school without it because they receive a threat from the Islamic Salvation Party. They said if any girl gonna come to school without a hijab, we will unalive them.
so
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 they
that was the
said
culture though, not the religion.
it was a religious terrorist group who sent a threat to the school, and the school, because they wanted us to be safe, they told our parents, they told us, they said if you will not wear something in your head. So I did it for like maybe 4 or 5 days, and then I was like, no.
Okay.
I was a teenager. I was maybe was that maybe
Okay,
14,
I'll just
15.
we'll just completely throw that out because I'm unaware of that. I don't think that's even okay. I'm unaware of that you're forced to do all that. So I'm just gonna throw past that. Um, okay. I'm sorry. I had a few things to talk about. I actually wrote them down. Okay. You guys right now, just like before you ended the live, somebody said something about where does it say in the Quran to pray, correct?
Oh, they were talking about the rules of praying, the rak'at, tashahhud, etc. Like all the details related to praying in Islam. It's from the Sunnah. It's not mentioned in Quran.
Yes.
If
So
you don't go to the like what the Prophet Muhammad did, etc., how he prayed, what he said, you will not be able to know what to say in the rak'ah. What you know what I mean?
yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
So I just want to say anyone who prays specifically 5 times a day or 5 prayers a day is not a Quranist because nowhere in the Quran does it say how to pray, to stand up, to put your hands across or on the side or anywhere. Nowhere in the Quran does it specifically tell you how to pray. That comes from both Sunni and Shia ahadith is how to pray. It is in the Quran to pray, but how to comes from ahadith. So that is all. So you can't, I believe it was the guy, or I don't know if it was you or the other guy, but you cannot call someone who prays 5 times a day a Quranist because it wouldn't make sense. It doesn't align.
What do you think about Quranists who pray 3 times a day?
Okay, I think I know what you're talking about. I think Shias have that view that they pray 3 times a day. We don't. We sorry, actually we pray 3 times a day, but we do all 5 prayers. We just conjoin Dhuhr and Asr and Maghrib and Isha. But it's still the 5 prayers. We just time them for 3 times a day.
Okay,
So do you understand what I'm saying?
sure.
No, because it's a huge misconception. I have a lot of people ask me like, why do you only pray like 3 times a day? I do it 3 times, but it's still all 5 prayers. We do the morning when it's supposed to be done, dhuhr, and then we go straight to asr. It's still the same prayer.
Some Quranists do pray 3 times a day.
Okay, I'm not a Quranist, so I don't know. I'm Shia. I go with hadith, with the Quran, with my scholar, with the imams, with everything. So I'm speaking on me. I can't speak for everybody else.
What? How does it go when you go to Hajj and Umrah?
I personally haven't yet. I would like to in the future. To my knowledge, it's
Because
honestly,
it's
I can't.
you'll be led by a Sunni imam, and the prayers are done in the Sunni style. So I was wondering if you go and do the Hajj, how does it work for the Shia in Mecca?
I personally haven't done it yet. I
Mhm.
cannot comment on that. I have not done it yet. It is one of my dreams to go to Hajj and to do it.
We should go to Spain before going to Hajj.
Can I ask why?
It's more fun.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Okay, I have a question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, If you're sick and you go to a doctor and the doctor tells you, take this medication, do you question him?
No, I usually take another opinion, read the side effects, and do some research before I take the medication.
Okay, let's go with that.
And doctors also tell you, try and see if they have any side effects on you. If there is any side effects, you have to stop immediately.
Okay, well, yes.
Sometimes you have allergies reaction. There's some kind of ingredients, or not ingredients, some kind of chemicals or in the medication that you don't know if you're allergic to or not. So you see if there is any strong reaction, you stop immediately.
Yeah, I agree with you. But Maria, with all due respect, I feel like you're overcomplicating things. It is very simple.
No, it's not complicated. I never ask a doctor, but I ask them for an alternative. And most of the time I ask for side effects. Like, what are the side effects? For example, am I gonna sleep well? Is it gonna keep me awake or something like that? Not that I get sick a lot, but
I'm not talking about
yes.
I'm talking about something small, like let's say you I don't know, you have a really bad flu, or like you have a cold, or something small like that.
I don't ask.
You don't question him, correct?
No,
okay.
No.
You trust the doctor because he knows what he's doing. He studied it, correct?
Most of the time, yeah.
Yes. So my question is, when you were a Muslim, if you won't question a doctor who knows what he's saying, why do you question Allah and his sayings and his Quran and everything?
Because if the harm caused because of the commands of Allah is severe and very, very obvious and very, very bad, and everyone in our modern world know that this is wrong.
So can you explain that?
Even in Islamic countries, criminal laws are saying that if you do human trafficking, you go to jail. If you hurt a kid, you go to jail. If you beat your wife and there is proof that you beat her, you go to jail.
So where does that correlate to not trusting Allah?
The harm, it's
what harm? I'm sorry, please be specific. Like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about?
So the commands of Allah that I really do have a problem with are the commands that are harmful. And when I say harmful, clear physical harm toward others. Clear physical.
Go ahead.
Is slavery harmful or not harmful?
It's definitely harmful, but the only commands that Allah gives you are to pray, are to fast, and are to do good by Him. The only commands Allah tells you, pray, fast, do Hajj, this and that. Where does He command you to get a slave? Where does He command you?
Raping married women who are slaves is not harmful.
Where is that a command?
وَالْمُحْصَنَاتِ مِنَ النِّسَاءِ إِلَّا مَا مَلَكَتْ أَيْمَانُكُمْ. Married women except your right hand possess. Is that harmful? And I asked Quraysh this question. I told him, go.
But answer my question. Where is it a command? Where is He telling you have to?
It's answering a question that was asked to the Prophet Muhammad. Is answering a question about should we actually proceed and have sex with them? And he says, yes. وَالْمُحْصَنَاتِ مِنَ النِّسَاءِ إِلَّا مَا مَلَكَتْ أَيْمَانُكُمْ. Go ahead and do it.
Okay, which surah and ayah is that?
424.
424. Okay, as I'm reading through this, you can go through somebody else.
Okay, I will go to Abdi. Abdi.
Yes. Hey, Maria.
Hey, Abdi. How is it going? Are you Muslim?
Good. Yes, I'm Muslim and I'm Sunni Muslim. Alhamdulillah.
You're Sunni Muslim. Very, very good. The question is, why are you a Muslim? So, were you born a Muslim? Did you convert to Islam?
I was born a Muslim, so, and I'm Muslim because Islam is the only truth religion. That's what I believe.
Do you want to share more, like why Islam is true for you? What makes it true?
Well, when I was born, I was born into my parents were Muslim. Then when I get then when I get older, I researched about religions, and I've researched. We have what they call Abrahamic religions, Christians and Muslims and Jews. Jews, you cannot be a Jew. You have to be born a Jew, and I don't think that's fair. And the Christian, it's pagan, I guess, because they worship a man. So, and if you look, the Hindus, they worship cows, and it's not in common sense what I believe. So I think, so I became very sure that Islam
What
is
do
the
you
only
feel?
religion.
How do you feel about going to Hajj and stoning Shaitan, Satan?
Well, I believe
Do
Satan.
you look at it? Do you look at it as a pagan practice or an Islamic practice?
What?
So in Hajj, they do have a statue, kind of statue,
No, we don't have statue.
telling you that this is the Shaitan, this is Satan. Go and stone them. It's part of the ritual of Hajj in Islam. So when you do it, does it make sense to you?
It's not a statue, if I correct you.
Well, it's symbolic. I know it's symbolic.
Yeah,
it's not it's not the house of Shaitan or the house of Satan, but part of the Hajj.
Well,
is
the Prophet
to go and do it. Does it make sense to you?
Well, yes, it makes sense to me because
makes sense to you. Stoning the Satan.
And I mean, if the Prophet did that, I'm gonna do it because I believe that the Quran is the truth and the Prophet is the truth. So I don't see why it's not making sense. Why?
Why would you stone? Why would you stone a statue or a symbol and believe that this is Satan or what? Can you explain?
Because I believe God and I've not even seen God God's messenger told me, because you can ask me, the bigger question is, why do you believe God? That would be because I believe that because God and his messenger told us to believe that. So if you ask me, it's the same question. If you ask me, God, do you believe in God? So let's talk. I mean, in the sense of the topic.
Now,
so,
my problem is that it was a pagan practice. I mean, you're stoning something and thinking that this is Satan. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't change anything about your belief, about your faith. In Islamic faith, Satan gonna always be present in your life, and he's the cause of all the sins that you do. So when you go and stone him,
it's not
her,
the cause.
So
it's not the Maria is not the Satan. It's not the cause of. I choose to do what if I'm gonna if I go.
You choose.
No,
you have free will. You think that you have free will?
Yes, I have free will. I can be a Christian and I can be a Muslim. I have a free will. That's even the Quran says that.
Okay.
So if you disbelieve in God, that's your choice. If you believe in God, and that's also your choice.
That's shaitan. Even in Surah Al-Baqarah, it says, "Khatam Allahu ala qulubihim." Like Allah sealed my heart. That's it. I don't have free will. It's up to Allah. It's up to God to make me believe or not believe. I have no free will. Allah said it in Quran.
No. I can give you multiple verses that says that you have free will.
This is when Allah is like playing ping pong with us, like
no.
Yes, no.
No.
Yes,
I guess maybe
no.
you interpreted the Quran in your way. I think
that's fine. So Abdi, you wanted to talk about why do you believe in Allah specifically?
Yeah, I can talk about that.
Okay. So do you want to share, please?
But I think you would give me to ask you a question. Is if you ask me?
Yeah. Go ahead. Yes.
But I'm gonna let you now. As soon as you said, I'm gonna ask you. You can ask me. I'll make it later.
You want me to ask you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So how do you know that Quran is the words of Allah?
Because the Quran does not have any contradiction in it, and is all, and it's a scientific proofs, and it has, and it talks, and it says to me how I should behave and how I should do my it's a way of life.
Like what?
It's telling me how to live a better life.
You want to give an example, please?
Yes, like how am I supposed to live, how am I supposed to help other people, and everything, how to pray, how to everyday life.
Can I answer that question?
Can you be friends with people who don't believe in Islam?
As long as they don't hurt me, and as long as they don't hate me for my religion, I don't mind.
But in Islam is there ولا تتخذوا الكفار أولياء, like Quran is also telling you, do not be friends or do not be close to those who do not believe in Islam.
So let me tell you something about that specific verse. Once again, that verse itself is a metaphor. It is saying, do not befriend the spirits of those. Don't fall into the disbelievers. I'm allowed to have friends that are Jewish, Christian, Catholic, whatever. It is not to kill the spirit of the disbelievers or the believers.
I can answer it in another way.
Yeah, Abdi, go ahead. Yeah.
And because, as I've told you earlier, that those who are not harming me and my religion, I have no problem with them, because it's a verse in the Quran that says, لا ينهاكم الله عن الذين لم يقاتلوكم في الدين ولم يخرجوكم من دياركم أن تبروا وتقصدوا إليهم. I can be good to you if you are not Muslim, because that's what the Quran says. And these people who the Quran tells me don't love them, are those that hate me, and those that want to kill me. But as long as you're doing no harm to me, I'm not gonna do any harm to you, and that's what the Quran says.
So يا أيها النساء from 144 to 145 it says يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تتخذوا الكافرين أولياء من دون المؤمنين أتريدون أن تجعلوا الله عليكم سلطانا مبين إن المنافقين في الدرك الأسفل من النار ولن تجد لهم نصير. If you have a kafir, disbeliever, or someone who doesn't believe in Islam as a close friend, you are munafiq, you are a hypocrite.
Again, I give you the verse that says that لا ينهاكم الله. So this verse is specific to, the Quran has sabab nusul, you understand? Because most of the verses that are talking about fight and about these people are the kafirin, and most of them were the pagans, and even the Christian and the Jews. The Quran specifically calls them Ahlul Kitab, the people of the book.
No, I'm reading here the tafsir of Ibn Kathir. It says, ينهى الله عباده المؤمنين عن مصاحبة ومصادقة ومناصحة وإصرار المودة إلى الكفار إلى غير المؤمنين. Allah is telling you, do not be friend with them, do not be close with them, do not share information, do not show them that you care, do not share with them anything about your life. That's Ibn Kathir.
I see where you're coming from.
That's something in Quran, by the way. I'm not talking about what people. I know that Muslims do have friends who are Christians, Jews, Hindu, atheists. They do.
But what about
of course they do.
Okay,
so I'm not talking about Muslims. I'm talking about this specific verse.
Maria, I see where you're coming from. And what about this verse that I told you? لا ينهاكم الله عن الذين لم يقاتلوكم في الدين ولم يخرجوكم من دياركم أن تبروا إليهم وتقصدوا. What about this verse? You have this verse, and I think that لا يعلم تأويله إلا الله. Which means that the some verses have two meanings. They say it can be this, and most of this is ijma' al-ulama, and some it's not that they are not the authority. Understand? Because only God.
Are you talking about at-tawbah? Are you talking about at-tawbah? And the chapter is at-tawbah, or which one? Because at-tawbah we are talking about the sword verses, ayat as-sayf, and we are talking about war situation where Allah is asking the Muslims to go and invade people's land, ask them to convert to Islam or pay the jizya.
We're talking about that now, about, we're talking about now, can I be friends with Muslims? And I thought I've answered you very good. And I give you even the verse that says that it's not a problem as long as they don't hurt you, or they don't have enmity to you. And it was a clear verse that I have said to. So you have come with another verse that I said these verse are talking about this.
We are talking about the same thing, and the same thing that we are talking about is Quran. And Quran is the words of Allah.
If you are familiar with the Quran, the Quran has sabab al-nusul. Most of the verse that talks about fights were in a time where they were fighting, and they have been sent down in a time of fighting. Most of the verses that are talking about fighting.
It's not always a defensive mode, because I have no problem with defensive jihad, for example, but my problem is with the offensive jihad, jihad al-talab, which is mentioned in a clear way in verse 929. Go and fight those who believe in other scriptures, the Jews and the Christians, until they convert. 929, until they convert to Islam, until they believe in Allah and Prophet Muhammad. And if they don't, ask them to pay the jizya. If they don't pay the jizya, you can unalive them. That's the
It's verse 929. Yeah, 929.
And again, if you and these also the same religions believe the same. If you see that the Christians, they do the same. They invade Muslim lands and they do the same. So that is really
we are discussing Islam, by the way, and my concern is Quran.
Since you are barbarian to attack me,
if Christians are doing this, if following Bible, it's still bad. It's still criminal. Yeah, I will not justify it in any way.
Okay, but Islam, Islam is a religion and is a government. And if you know, because most of the other religions they talk about, Islam is it a government? Is it dastur?
Constitution, and you mean?
Yeah. A constitution, yeah. Then if these people are planning to invade Islam, the Islam will invade it and will move ahead, So
no, you're not defending yourself. I think, Abdi, you understand what I'm saying when I say it's offensive jihad. It's not defensive jihad. It's jihad al-talab. تطلب المشركين في ديارهم. You go to their land, ask them to convert to Islam. If they don't, they pay the jizya. That's what this verse is talking about, 929. So it's not asking you to treat them with respect or to respect their religion or their land. You're taking over and you're in control. You're applying Sharia and you're asking them on top of that to pay you a tax humbly, willingly.
Okay, again, I would like to answer that in a simple way. That as I told you, that Islam is a government. These people, they also attacking Islam. And the empires at that time were attacking each other. They're doing the same. And we are...
I just want to get something clear. Who's these people? Who's these people attacking Islam? These people attacking him.
Other religions, the other
How about history of my country? We never attacked any Muslims. We got invaded from them 500 years. Yes, okay, but we are talking about offensive jihad. You just go to the country, you steal whatever, you take whatever you can, and then you just pay jizya. If you don't, they unalive you.
Country now attacking a Christian country now. We have been attacked now in our homes. Muslims have been attacked in Iraq and Syria. Being bombed.
They attack each other.
Where is the Muslim country?
Are you from Syria, Abdurrahman? Are you from Syria?
No, I'm a Muslim. So
but where are you from in the world?
No, I'm a Muslim. That's the
okay. Well, nobody ever attacked Somalia, so maybe we should just talk about reality.
Now this guy is going to my profile and I'm saying Somalia.
No, I'm a Somali too. I'm not going through your profile. I just know what it is.
He is Somali, like you.
Okay, nice. I wanted to tell you that no Muslim country invaded a Christian country this time, and but we see Christian countries invading Muslim countries. So let's be honest here.
Okay, let's be honest. Yes, go ahead. Be honest.
If we are going to talk about the Quran with attacking and all
I
that.
think I'm gonna
Look
ask
at
you a
Quran
simple
chapter
question,
2,
Maria,
verse
and I'm gonna leave.
190.
I think I'm gonna leave because I'm give the opportunity to other people so they can have the
No,
talk.
you should stay, bro. You should stay. We should talk.
If you look at Quran
Well,
chapter 2, verse
Hold on, Fawzi,
190.
hold on. Abdi, he's not finished. He give his closure statement, and then we'll go with you.
as I've seen you have been you said you've been ex-Muslim and you talk about the marrying early age a lot and all of these topics, but it's not a Muslim thing that it happened all in the 7th centuries. The communities did that. It was normal at that time, and the pre-Islamic. So I wanted to say to you,
So it's
Maria,
not normal anymore, Abdi? Abdi, it's not normal anymore, right? You don't think it's normal anymore to marry a underage girl and
well,
make
if I
her a
tell you,
wife?
what about if I tell you, my friend, that till now, a country that you call the most democratic country in the world, America, still allows marrying as young as 12 years
What
old.
you're doing now is called whataboutism.
No, wait.
Stay on the
I'm gonna.
topic.
I know this guy's got off the topic and he said it's not a normal again, but it's normal in America now.
Abdi,
You
Abdi,
can
Abdi,
marry a 13-year-old
Abdi,
year old in
Abdi, Abdi,
America
I,
now.
I get it, I get it. You know that in Somalia, there's been people that tried to actually stop that, but the ulamas in Somalia made a stop to the law that would actually make it an outlaw to marry an underage girl. So they said that it was going against the deen, and that's the reason why now, in even Somalia, which is my blood, they are actually allowing underage girls to be married to 50-year-olds.
Well, I have
The reason
sisters.
hold on. The reasoning behind it is Islam. The reasoning behind it is because Prophet Muhammad married a girl that was 6 and consummated the marriage when she was 9. Now, you can tell me that this
True.
has to be in the 7th century, but this is actually happening today in Somalia. So what do you
Well,
have to
it's
say about
happening
that,
also
Abdi?
in America now. What about that?
I don't care about America,
The
bro.
American government does not claim to be divine.
Because your friend
See the
Maria said
difference?
earlier, your friend Maria said that the secular countries consummation age of marriage is 18, and she don't know that America they
Can
still
you
can
speak
marry.
about Somalia? Can you speak about the Horn of Africa for a second? That's where you're
No,
from.
no,
So why don't
but
you
now
speak about that?
if I had it's not in Islam. It says that if is ready in marriage, that's what Islam says. It's not as if the girl is ready mentally and physically, biologically, she can marry with the consent of her
No, that's
parents.
not true. That's not true. That's not true. Abdi, you know that it's not true. And I can, since you are Sunni, I can give you all the evidence from Muslim scholars, the Sunni, saying otherwise, saying something different. And I already gave an example also of
How is not true?
Ayatollah al-Khamenei himself marrying a 10
Who
years
is
old,
Khamina?
and what he said about women, do your best to make sure that the little girl has her first blood, the cycle, in her husband's house. How disgusting is that?
Khamenei is not the authority. It's not from.
No,
It's not.
he's a Shia.
That's
I
not
know
in
you
the
are
Quran.
not. I know that you are not a
That,
Shia. You
that,
are a Sunni. But the Sunni scholars do not say something better. They are all in agreement. You can have a marriage contract. There's no minimum age, and the only condition that they had she can be able to have sex. How?
okay,
I have no idea.
biologically.
I have no
Okay,
clue.
I'm gonna now in this time. If I ask you one question, you're atheist, you said, and where did you get your
Your
morals
morality
from?
from?
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Abdi, for being here. I have to go to Fatima and then to Fawzi.
Okay, thank you very
Okay.
much.
Thank
I
you.
thank for giving me the opportunity. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Fatima. Fatima?
Yes, hi.
Can I
Yeah.
ask Fatima?
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, okay. I want to comment about your question that you asked Maria earlier
Okay, which question?
about yeah the you I think you asked her yeah would you trust a doctor giving you a certain medicine, right?
No, that wasn't
Well,
my
in the
question.
case,
My question was when you go to a
why
doctor.
wouldn't you?
No,
Would you trust him?
my question was when you go to a doctor and he says, okay, take this medication, do you question him and say, well, how do you know that I take this medication? My
Okay.
question
And I answer it, I guess.
Yes, but in this case, she's not forcing this medicine on other people, is she?
Okay, so what are you getting at? Allah's forcing us to do what?
No, there's a lot of, things that Muslims are forcing on people.
Like what?
Actually, you're wrong. Sometimes we do. I'm a medical student, actually, and sometimes in certain cases you do have to force medication, such as vaccinations. In order to enter certain places, you're forced to take vaccinations. You're wrong there as well. So subhanAllah, atheists are wrong.
That's not true. I am also in the medical field, and I can tell you.
No, you have to take their consent.
I can tell you.
You have to have their consent. You
the only time when you force medication.
You're not allowed to go to school.
Guys, we have to listen. We have to hear each other. Mad Max, it's not your turn, but since you say something like that, the only time you can force medication and treatment on people is when they have mental health issues, not physical issues. If someone is diagnosed, for example, with cancer, and the doctor will explain to them this is a treatment that we suggest, and this person decides to not take the treatment, you cannot force it. And here I'm talking about adults.
Do you mind if I reply?
Here we're talking about adults. We are not talking about kids, just to clarify.
Yeah, I understand.
And the exception related also to vaccination, certain workplace, but a doctor will never force you to take a vaccination. Absolutely not. It's always, I suggest, this is the protocol that we follow. And either you go with it or not.
Moori, I can counter that.
Let me reply real quick. So on this issue, Sister Maria, you just said, no, we do not force medication. Yes, I agree with you. Medication is not forced upon you. You can choose to die if you wanted to. Yes, it's a free country. However, where you're wrong is there are certain rules and regulations that are put on what you should do in order for you to interact with regular society. So, for example, you are forced to take medication in order to enter some kind of school some kind of some kind of government buildings. You are forced to take medication in order to enter hospitals, which is vaccination.
If you don't want,
Can I please finish? I let you finish. I let you finish. Can I please finish?
Sure.
Thank you. It's my field, and you can interact if you want. That's fine. Just let me finish. So you are actually forced as well to take medications in order to enter certain hospitals. For example, private hospitals. You are forced to. There is no way around it. Yes, sometimes they make exceptions, but if you are a danger and if you affect people around you, this is well known that among physicians and among other fields in medicine, that you will have to take these medications because it might affect people around you. So the example the sister gave, which is, you're not forced. Yes, in Islam, we have two choices. Either you pay jizya, yes, or we take your property. Islam is not dhalil. We do not accept any way around. We believe we are upon the correct path. Them. This is unaliving because Islam is not dhalil. In America, you either pay taxes or you go to jail. If you don't pay taxes, you go to jail. In the Islamic period, there was no such thing called jail. Jail was inhumane. So therefore, you have two choices.
Mad Max, you are a medical student?
Yes.
Where do you live?
I prefer not to disclose that. The Sunnis are after me. But that's not the point.
Are you, okay, hold on. Are you Shia?
Yes, I'm Shia.
Okay.
No. Yes.
So you do not have a problem with the concept of jizya, unaliving someone if they don't pay jizya? The offensive jihad, when there is an Islamic state, we have to apply all the rules. Everyone needs to obey to the Islamic teachings. What's your position? What's your position when it comes to slavery?
Okay, no issue. I'm gonna talk about it. So Imam Ja'far
I'm sorry.
as-Sadiq alayhi salam.
One second. Before we get to that, the question was posed to me, and I still haven't gotten to answer. So go ahead, answer the slavery thing. But I do have some thoughts.
Before he answers, I'm sorry. Yeah, he just jumped in without permission.
It's fine.
Fatima, go ahead.
I'm not done yet because it's still false equivalence, Mad Max.
Yeah.
Just before you go ahead, you can take your time, sister. Listen. If you need any help, we have my actual account is Kakashi of the Sharia. We answer these questions.
Mad, she can speak for herself. She doesn't need you.
Sister Fatima, if you do have questions,
she can speak for herself. Don't explain to her or play this. Please, wait. Even the advice, postpone it for later. Please. Stay. Goodness.
The other point where we find that this is a false equivalence is that at least doctors exist. We know that doctors exist. Allah, you have yet to prove it. Okay?
Want me to answer you? Do you want me to?
Go ahead.
Okay. So repeat your first part of the question about the doctors. Repeat it, please.
I said that there's a false equivalence since the doctor in the first situation, you're not forcing the medicine on others.
Okay.
Right? You're trusting him to take it yourself.
Okay, so I'll say something on that. And I'm not in the medical field, but I know what I'm saying is accurate. So to top what Mad Max said, which I completely agree with him, unless where I live here in Canada, and we also follow when it comes to meds a lot of the United States rules. I live here in Canada. Unless you have a DNR, let's say you're crashing, you're about to die. They are forcing you to take how many milligrams of morphine or whatever it is. You are forced to take that medication unless you have a DNR. So that we'll put that aside about the doctors can't force you because they can. And there are so many places where you're not allowed to enter the vicinity unless you have certain medications, certain vaccinations. Here, you can't even go to school without having like 6 different vaccinations. So that's to address your first part of the question. The second part, and this is what I was telling Maria a minute ago, is when you go to a doctor for a flu, and you don't question him for the medication that he gives you, why are you questioning Allah's existence? Why are you questioning his Quran and everything? I know Allah exists because he's proven to me in the Quran.
Yeah. Fatima, you know because it's your own belief. There's no proof behind it. You can't prove it to the world. The doctor can't prove that you're sick. He can show you where you're sick. He can provide evidence that you're sick.
Explain to me how 1400 years ago, when the Quran came down, how 1400 years ago the Quran was talking about things that are just being discovered today in the 20th century. Please explain that to me.
Can you give me an example? I know there's a lot of mistakes in the Quran.
The moon split.
Can you go ahead? Go ahead. Give me an example of things that are just...
There is not a single mistake in the Quran.
You go first. It's okay. You go first. You said that things we are discovering now were mentioned, 1400 years ago. Go ahead.
Okay, just give me one moment. I'm sorry. Just give me one second. My brother's calling me.
Okay.
Fatima, I remember that you gave the example of Maraj al-Bahraini yaltaqiyan, like the 2 seas do not merge together, do not mix. Yeah, I think you talk about it.
Too.
Yeah, you talk about it a couple of times. Yeah, so take your time, but meanwhile, let me go to...
Sorry.
Are you back?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want to just ask me the question about slavery so I can answer you, inshallah?
No, she's still talking, Matt. Be patient,
yeah, that's
please.
fine. Go ahead.
Okay. So you're asking me like what the miracles of the Quran that was brought down 1400 years ago, the 2 seas that don't mix, the fact that the human comes from a cell from inside the mother's womb. There's so many. The fact that the word day in Arabic, yom, is mentioned in the Quran 365 times. And there are 365 days in a year.
Wow.
We just discovered that a human comes from the cell inside their mother's womb, what, 50 years ago? That was written in the Quran 1400 years ago. That's how I know, because Allah's giving me the answer right in front of me. Why would I question that?
Can you repeat the last one?
The cell? Okay, we just discovered that the human is formed from a cell inside the mother's womb. That was written in the Quran 1400 years ago. And we just discovered that 50 years
we
ago.
just
Not even.
discovered a cell.
I mean, within
Okay,
these...
I'll check that.
Okay, go ahead. Okay, maybe more than 50 years ago, but it was definitely not 1400 years ago. That's my answer. You asked me that question, that's my answer.
Do you know the stages of fetal development in the Quran? Do you think they are accurate?
100%, because it's being discovered by science today. Do you believe in science? That's my question to you. Do you believe in science?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, science tells you that the human develops from a cell, correct? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Develop from a cell?
There's no word that's
my
called
bad. It starts as a cell.
And
there's no word for khali.
Hold on, Dahbiya. And then
in the Quran.
It starts as a cell and then it forms. I don't know the stages of how the human forms, but I know that it starts from a cell and then it starts forming over time. خلق الإنسان من علق. It is in the Quran, from a cell, yes.
أحي يا لهوي يما where should I start from?
Do you know that in the Quran it states that the bone comes before the muscle?
Where?
I don't know.
Okay, you know what? Do you know what the golden ratio is? That is science. You said you believe in science. Do you know what the golden ratio is? Like what it is, the concept? It's science. The golden ratio of the earth, if you believe in the earth, the golden ratio of the earth is the Kaaba, the actual Kaaba. So try to disprove that.
What? That's something that I didn't hear since like 10 years ago. But go ahead.
What?
The earth ratio. Go ahead.
No, the golden ratio. The golden ratio.
I'm taking notes actually.
Yes, no problem. No problem. Yeah. So if you didn't know what the golden ratio is, it's a concept. It is the perfect middle point of any given object. The golden ratio of the earth is the Kaaba.
The Kaaba in Mecca.
What?
In Mecca, yeah, right?
The Kaaba, yeah.
The Kaaba that is in Mecca, in Saudi Arabia.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is the golden ratio of the earth. Okay. Look it up.
What else?
Can you explain?
Explain what?
No, let her
Maria, is this live recorded?
It's automatically recorded by TikTok. I always get a copy.
Good.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Okay, good.
Yeah, that's all right. You guys are trying to embarrass a woman who's talking about miracles. What about you?
No,
we're just asking questions.
Nothing
that's fine. Talk to me, and then we'll see how well your questions go.
Nothing here is personal.
What I'm saying is
you said something interesting. You said
if you feel personally attacked, that's your problem.
Develop. One sec. What's the three growth? What's it called? Cells that.
Matt, it's not. I don't think it's your turn.
Since you know so much about biology, what is it? You guys don't know jack about medical science.
Max, please. You will have a chance to talk.
You don't have to.
You guys are all attacking her at the same time.
Nobody is attacking her. Nobody is attacking her.
For an emotional reaction.
Yes. Okay. How about I ask you guys some questions?
Why don't you calm down right now, please?
I'm very
calm. I will wait until I give you the mic when she's done, and there is Fosi also before you.
But you guys are all going in. For example, you're telling her that muscle.
She's talking. So what? She has the right to say whatever she wants.
Yeah, I know she has the right to say whatever she wants.
Mute yourself.
But when you're all asking her questions.
No, but look, I think that Fatima chose to talk about Quran specifically in what is related to science, and she's giving examples, and we are listening. Sometimes we need more clarification to understand what she's saying, which is good. So let her talk. When it's your turn, you will have the mic, and you can either agree with her, disagree with us, ask questions, do whatever you want. But let her finish. She's still talking.
I'm done talking.
Great, thank you. Fawzi, do you agree with what Fatima said in regards of the miracles of Quran?
I can't say much about it because I don't know much about science. So,
Okay.
and I know if she's saying something, she have the knowledge and then the understanding. So, as a Muslim,
Sorry,
I'll take what
I'm so
she's
sorry.
saying.
Just one thing. I'm so sorry. You can Google it right now. Go on Google. Where is the golden ratio point of the earth? It will literally tell you the Kaaba in the holy city of Mecca. But go ahead. I'm done.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
So, Fawzi, do you believe in the concept of miracles, in the miracles of Quran?
That is what I'm saying. I can't say things I've not researched on. I'm not a science person, actually. I don't do much of science. So I just believe her as a sister, that she wouldn't say what she don't know. If she's saying it, then maybe she may have researched, because as a Muslim, before you say, you try to research. And then, so I can't say much about that.
Is that only Muslims though, or does anybody do that? Do you think that we say something without knowing, Fawzi?
Wait, why does he get to cut her off?
That is the problem, Maria. There's
No, I'm just asking a question. That's all.
You have privileges.
Yeah, no
here.
issues. When I try to ask a
We are
question, you guys
talking, they are free to cut us through. But if they are talking, we can't cut them through.
He muted himself. He muted himself. Continue, Fawzi. Continue to talk.
But he keep interrupting anytime.
Nobody gonna interrupt you. Nobody gonna interrupt you. Go ahead.
Yes. You were referring to the Quran asking Muslims to attack non-Muslims or whatever. But the Quran, again, chapter 2, verse 190, will tell you that fight in the cause of Allah against those who fight you, but do not transgress limit. Allah does not love transgressors. Am I wrong? Quran chapter 2, verse 190.
Yeah, this was before
fight in the
Prophet.
Cause of Allah against those who fight you.
The verse revealed before the Prophet moved to Al-Medina, if I am not wrong? That was
if they
a verse is revealed to him.
Quran
was revealed to him when he was
2.
in Mecca. Yeah,
I'm quoting to you Quran chapter 2, verse 190.
Yeah.
If you want to research, go ahead and research. And you look at Quran chapter 8, verse 61. If they seek peace, then you seek peace. And trust in Allah, for He is the one that hears and knows all things. You can go ahead and look up for it.
Yeah, but all the verses talking about peace and how your way should be peaceful were the verses revealed to Prophet Muhammad when he was in Mecca.
So why don't
after he moved to
Al
Al-Medina. Fawzi, I'm talking. Fawzi, I'm talking. All these verses, I acknowledge that there are verses that they seem very peaceful, very nice. And they were revealed to Muhammad when he was in Mecca. But when he moved to Al-Medina, all the sword verses talking about war and attacking people and unaliving them were revealed to him, what they call the sword verses. And if you go to chapter 9 at Tawbah, you will read all about it. And all these verses abrogated. They cancel the peaceful verses that you are mentioning.
Are you sure?
Yeah, no, she's wrong.
That's
Just let her talk.
That's what the Muslim Sunni
no,
explain.
That's wrong.
And Mad Max, are you sick with a disease called cutting off people?
Just like
no, I'm just letting you say because La ikraha fi din. La ikraha fi din comes down in Mecca. Actually, it comes down in the Qawm of Ansar. And you quoted Ibn Kathir, so you should know Ibn Kathir says it comes down in the Ansar. And there was no Ansar in Mecca, so I don't know how you're fabricating
Mad Max, can you please?
Subhanallah,
can you please mute yourself? Thank you. Mute
but
yourself.
why are you asking him to mute himself? If others can try to address issues.
Because I cannot
if they don't understand
ask
something,
an adult man. I cannot ask an adult man to do a simple thing more than 5 times in 10 minutes. That's exhausting.
What I don't,
as simple as it is, mute yourself until it's your turn. When it is your turn, you will say everything you want to say. Nobody gonna stop you.
Yes, if you are disagreeing with me, and then he he's also learned and he have a fact to back his claim. Why not hear from him? Why do you have to shut him up? I think you could have allowed him to
Fawzi, why are you crying right now? I'm talking to you.
I'm not crying.
So I'm talking to you. So
I'm trying to say
please continue. Verses like the verse that I mentioned earlier, and it was the verse 921, 929. Sorry. So this verse is clearly telling, talking to the believers, the Muslims, to go and fight people who believe in Christianity and they are Jewish and the believers of the book. Fight them until they convert, until they believe on Allah. Then if they don't, ask them to pay the jizya. If they don't pay the jizya, there are other penalties. You can even unalive them. That's problem. And this is the reason why they attack North Africa. They enslaved my ancestors. They went to Egypt, did the same. Levant did the same. Persia did the same.
Can I please say something?
If Fawzi is okay with it, because it's her turn.
Yes, I'm okay. I'm okay.
Okay, it's not about this specifically. It's Maria, it's for you. I know, believe me, I know I am literally nothing to you and to your lives, but I'm letting you know right now, I will no longer be coming in here because anytime you want to have a discussion, I would assume that when you want to have a discussion, you discuss to listen. But the way I see it, you only discuss to answer back. You're not actually listening to anything we have to say. So the same way you got upset at Mad Max for cutting off and for interrupting, you have been doing the same thing. So again, I know I mean nothing, but I will no longer be coming in here. You're not discussing to listen, you're discussing just to argue. So that is all I have to say, and I will be leaving now.
Okay. That's fine.
This is not